Hi, thank you for joining me. Today's practice is going to be geared for the brand new student or someone who's never been on the mat before. So things will move a little bit slower, a little bit more broken down. We want to remember a couple of things that it doesn't matter what your pose looks like, but it does matter what it feels like in your body. You shouldn't feel any kind of pain. We want to have comfort and ease in our postures, but we also will have some challenges. Pay attention to the breath throughout. The breath is the most important part of our practice because we are bringing together breath and body movement. Our breath is the secret to tell us how we feel. Have you ever noticed that when you're very stressed out, your breath is very panting? Well, the same thing happens in a yoga practice. If you're straining or having too much effort, then your breath is going to get very, very fast. So we want to try to have our breath more slow and connected to the movement. That's why we start in a gentle position. We build our energies as we go, coming into more dynamic and then more static positions as we progress in the practice. So watch the breath, pay attention to the breath. We'll call that every now and then to return back to your breath. So let's go ahead and begin with awareness of breath. Finding a tall seat I'm sitting on a block. If you want to sit on a book or if you have a block or a cushion, a hard pillow of some sort. We want to open up the spine, sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back. Close the eyes. Now, in this action of sitting up tall, we can notice how our core starts to engage. It's because we're opening up the energies in the body. They're through the nervous system. And just breathe your natural breath, just a few breaths. Notice how your natural breath is. If it's smooth and open, or is it rigid and hard, fast or slow? We don't judge that breath, we just notice how it is. Now, keeping your eyes closed, bring your palms together in a prayer position. Dip your chin in slightly toward the prayer hands. This is called Anjali Mudra. It's a sign of gratitude, and it's also a sign of connecting our breath-body movement. Giving gratitude for your breath, giving gratitude for the body that you've been gifted. It helps us to begin in stillness and in silence. Release the hands down to the shins and place one hand on your lower belly. We'll start with Durga breath, an awareness of breath in the three different parts of our breath practice. So with one hand on the lower belly, start to breathe in and out into the belly. Notice the push against your hand and then the sinking back toward the spine as we breathe. Take that bottom hand, place it on your ribs, and now breathe into the ribs. Notice the expansion and contraction, the wideness of the in-breath, and the knitting together on the out. Taking that hand now and laying it on the chest, breathing into the chest. Feeling the rise and fall, the spread of the collarbones. Leaving that hand on the chest, place your other hand on your lower belly and notice the connection between the belly and chest as you breathe. Leave your bottom hand on the belly. Take your upper hand and place it on the ribs and notice the connection between breath of the lower belly and of the ribs. Bottom hand now comes to the chest, where we'll feel our connection between chest and ribs. Releasing those hands back and let the eyes flutter open. So finding the fullness of our breath is a beautiful way to begin any practice, to honor your body and your breath together. Next in breath, reach the arms up toward the sky. Your gaze can follow. Out breath, the right hand comes down and we side bend, reaching out and over. Now let your chin roll a little bit towards your bicep. We feel that nice stretch through the neck. As you come up, hold on to the outside of your head and let the left ear dip toward the left shoulder. Release, bringing both arms back up. In breath. Exhale, side bend over toward the left. Let the gaze go a little bit toward the bicep. Open up. Inhaling. Exhale. Now, next in breath. Coming up, hold on to the outside of the head and dip the right ear toward the right shoulder. Exhale. Release, coming back into neutral position. Inhaling again, reaching those arms up, bringing extension through the spine. As we exhale, left hand comes to the right thigh, right arm behind, and let us gaze a little bit back behind our shoulder. Hold here, take a breath cycle. Release, coming back into neutral. Second side, in breath, lift up. Out breath, revolve left. In breath, lift. Exhale a little deeper. Release, coming back into neutral position. Now, if you're sitting on a prop like I am, like a block or whatever, just set it off to the side. And transition onto all fours, getting our wrists, shoulders, knees, and hips in alignment. Spreading those fingers nice and wide. You can be on the toes or the flats of the feet. Either is perfect in your practice, whatever feels better on your knees. Make sure that you're pressing into the floor. You're pushing the floor away, really feeling the shoulders. Now, notice also that you have a little tuck of the belly that naturally happens as you press your hands into the floor. Our core engagement is already starting. Hold here for a couple of breaths, just feeling that movement. Now, next in breath, drop the belly toward the floor. Let the gaze go up. As you out breath, curl the tailbone, round the spine up toward the sky, dip the chin to the chest in a cat pose. Inhaling into that cow, extending the spine. Exhaling into that cat, flexing the spine. So do 2 more rounds, moving with your breath. One more. And then come back into our neutral position. Keeping the knees narrow or widening, set the hips back toward the heels, extend the arms forward, and feel that great stretch and extension in the spine as your forehead comes to or toward the floor. Notice your breath here. If you have a hard time breathing, widen the knees a little more and lift up and out of the ribs. And then settle back down into your space, keeping your connection to breath and body. Next in breath, come back up onto all fours, sliding your hands back. Working a little into the hips, we'll circle our left hip around. So bring it in toward the chest, circle it around, working into our hips. Now go the second direction. So just reverse that direction 2 more times, bringing 3 times each side. Bringing that knee down. Now extending that same left leg back, toes to the floor, stretch out the arch, and you can kind of pulse here a little bit, stretching through the ankle, the calf, the hamstring. Reach that leg up just to hip height on our in-breath. As we out-breath, bring that knee in toward the nose. 2 more times for that. Engaging again into the core, the hips, and the hamstrings. And 1 more. Release that knee down. doing all of that second side. So starting with those hip circles, 3 big hip circles. Reverse the direction. Extend that right leg back, toes to the floor, pressing back in those little pulses. Bring that leg up to hip height on the in-breath, and out-breath, knee to nose. 2 more times. Tuck it in and move with your breath. And just release that down. Now come back into your child's pose one more time, and this time let's take our hands back, palms facing up, and let the shoulders round over, just feeling this nice rest and a little relief for our wrists. Extending those hands again forward, coming up onto all fours. Now curl your toes and pick your knees up off of the floor. Keep your hands where they are, and then shift your hips back, trying to touch the heels to the floor. It doesn't matter if they touch or not. Some do, some do not. We don't worry about that, but we do want the pose to feel the good stretch all the way through the hamstrings as we push back into our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Holding here and breathing. Crown of the head is toward the floor. Your elbows are kind of pulling in towards your ears a little bit so we can really stretch out the upper back. Now start to pedal the legs out, adding some more movement into our hamstrings. Settling back into our stillness. Look between the hands and just start to walk your feet forward. Placing them about hip width apart. Bend the knees, hold on to the elbows, and just rock gently from side to side. We're warming up into our quadriceps, of course, but we're also softening into our back, bringing some relief and tension to our back. Now release those hands, bend the knees a little deeper, place the hands on the thighs, and roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming into a standing position, which is called Tadasana. Feet can be together or hip width apart, depending on the preference of how your body feels balanced. Pick up your toes, spread the toes, and drop them back down, feeling all 4 corners of the feet on the floor. We're feeling the pinky mound, the big toe mound, and the inner and outer heel. Now, stacking our joints, nice tall spine, and contract your hips. When I mean that, I mean try to pull your hips together, which what will happen is you'll get a little posterior tilt. Your pelvic bone will go down a little bit, and we'll feel a nice engagement in the core. And just let that gaze go forward. We hold here and breathe. Next, in breath. Reach those arms out to the side and up. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, and push the palms up toward the sky. As we exhale, side bend over toward the right. Hold here for a breath cycle. In breath, out breath. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale to the left. Full breath cycle. In breath, out breath. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, release the hands back down by your sides. Warming up into our body with sun salutations. Sun salutations C to begin. Reach the arms up in the air, let the gaze follow. As we out breath, bend the knees, bend at the hips, and fold forward into a forward fold. Let the crown of the head toward the floor. Straighten the legs, bringing the hands up the shins for a half lift. And then exhale, plant the hands, send the right leg back and down to the knee. Engage in the core, reach the arms out and up, the gaze is up. Out breath, bring the hands down to the floor. Inhaling, come on those back toes and step the front foot back for a plank pose. And then exhale the knees. the chest and the chin come down toward the floor. In breath into a cobra. Out breath, up and back, downward facing dog. Next in breath, the right foot is going to reach and make its way between the hands. But sometimes we get stuck halfway. That's perfectly fine. Grab onto your ankle with your right hand and bring it the rest of the way. Perfectly fine to do that. And then out breath down to the back knee. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Exhale into a forward fold. Come off of the back knee, step up to the front for a half lift, hands up to shins, chest parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. In breath, reach the arms out and up. Out breath, bring the hands down and release. One more like that, lead leg left. So inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend the knees, forward fold all the way, hands down to the floor, chin rolls in, crown of the head to the facing floor. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands up the shins. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands in the left leg back and down to the knee. Engage the core, ground yourself, in breath up. Out breath, bring the hands back down. Off the back toes, stepping into plank, inhaling. Exhale, the knees, chest, and chin down toward the floor. In breath, cobra pose. Out breath, up and back, downward facing dog. Look between your hands. In breath, that left foot steps between. Now remember, if you can't reach all the way, take it as many steps as you need to, landing it there. And then out breath, drop it back down to the back knee. Inhale, lifting those arms up. Exhale, hands down. Back foot steps up to the front for a half lift. Exhale into the fold. In breath, reach those arms out and up. Gaze follows. Exhale, hands down and release. Hold here for a few rounds of breath in Tadasana, contracting the hips, stacking the joints, rolling the shoulders back. Strong, proud mountain. One sun salutation A. In breath, reach the arms up, gaze follows. Out breath, forward fold. Inhaling into a half lift. As we exhale, plant the hands, step back into your plank, and drop down to the knees, the chest, and the chin. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, up and back, down dog, hold and breathe. At the end of your next exhale, look between your hands and just start to walk your way, feet between the hands. Come into that half lift in breath. Out breath, bend the knees and fold. In breath, reach those arms up. And out breath, bring the hands down into prayer. Back into our Tadasana. We'll hold here for a breath cycle. And one more salutation to go, Sun B. Bring our feet together. As we inhale, we drop the hips back, reaching back and reach the arms up. Utkatasana or chair pose. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale into the half lift. As we exhale, we plant our hands, step back into plank, and lower to the knees, chest, and chin. In breath, cobra. Out breath, up and back, down dog. Now, as we inhale, our right foot steps between the hands. Remember, one step or several. The back heel will spin in just a little bit of a turn, a quarter turn. Engage the core and rise the arms up for warrior one pose. Out breath takes our hands back down to the floor. Plank pose. And then knees, chest, and chin down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. In breath, left foot makes its way to the front, one or several steps. Spin that back heel in. Exhaling. In breath, rise up. Out breath, take it back down. Plank pose, knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling, cobra pose. Exhale, down dog. We'll hold here for 3 rounds of breath. Notice your breath. After your next exhale, look to the front. Make your way. Your feet need to come together. Coming into that half lift, in breath. Out breath, fold, Uttanasana. Drop the hips, reach the arms up, chair pose, Utkatasana, in breath. And out breath, hands to prayer, and release back into our Tadasana. Bringing our hands into prayer position. Step our right foot back, wide stance. And look at your toe position. In this position, we're not going to have the toes turning out, but the outside edges of our feet are straight. In order to do that, it's okay to more pigeon-toed in that position. Inhaling here. Exhale, open up the right foot to the front and bend into the knee. Reach the arms out into a T and hold here for a couple of breaths. Now this is our warrior two pose. So we're sinking our hips down toward the floor. Knee and ankle are in alignment. The arms are reaching. These are not soft arms. They're very active arms as we reach. And our gaze can be out over those front fingers. Next, in breath, bring the hands into prayer pose. As we exhale, we straighten that front leg, lifting that front toe up. In breath, dropping it back down, moving from dynamic to static movement. Lifting up. And one more. Coming down. Taking it up. Back into our warrior two. Reach the arms and we'll hold here for just a few breaths. Dropping our back hand. Flip our front palm and lift up for a nice, peaceful warrior as we stretch and reach. Keep that nice reach of the stretch, the arm up, and straighten that leg on the in-breath. Out-breath, the hands come into a T, and the front hand comes down to the thigh. Open the palm and let the outer palm press into the inner shin and roll the chest open as you reach the left arm up. Triangle pose. In breath, coming back up. Hands come into prayer. All 10 toes face. Second side. Left foot turns out. Bend in. Arms reach for our warrior two pose. Gaze is out and over. Hold and breathe. Next in breath, hands come into prayer. Out breath, straighten, lift the toes. In breath, dropping it down. Out breath, up. One more, bending it in. Coming up, flexing back. Then drop back into our position, reaching those arms out for our Virabhadrasana 2 second time here as we stretch and reach. Going from dynamic to static position. Dynamic to add mobility. Static to build mental and physical strength. Drop the back hand, flip the front palm, reach it up toward the sky. The gaze can go up. If that bothers your neck, then you can look more neutral. Just hold here and breathe. Peaceful warrior. And keep that stretch and reach, straightening out that front leg on the in-breath. The out-breath, arms come into a T. Reach forward, hand to the shin. Now open it, press against the inside. Back arm reaches up for triangle pose. Bend that bottom knee, coming back up into our warrior two stance. Hold and breathe. Hands come into prayer. Straighten all 10 toes, come back, facing position. Heel toe those feet in and step back up to the front, coming back into our Tadasana pose. In breath, reach those arms up toward the sky. Out breath, come into a forward fold. Inhaling into a half lift. As we exhale, we plant our hands, send our right leg back, and walk up the front thigh or raise up for high crescent lunge. Hold here and breathe. Keep your arms reaching. Take the back foot and open it up. Reach the arms out into a T for our warrior two pose. We've been here before. Now inhale, expand. Exhale, forearm comes down. Back arm reaches up toward the sky. And don't dump in your weight. Have that bottom arm very light resting and practice on rolling the chest open. Inhaling back up to that warrior two. And as we exhale, spin around, bring the right hand down to the floor, reach the back arm up for this dragon twist. Drop down to that back knee. Engage the core, rise up into our Anjaneyasana. We've been there before. Now take that right hand, reach back, and just stretch and reach up toward the sky. Release, bringing the hands back up. Out breath, hands down. Come off of the back knee. Back foot steps up for that half lift in breath. Exhale to fold. Give another half lift, inhale. This time as we fold, we exhale and send the left leg back. Engage the core, rise up or walk the hands up for our high crescent lunge. Hold and breathe. Open that back foot up, coming into a warrior two stance. We've been here lots of times before. Now in breath and out breath, forearm comes down. The back arm reaches up toward the sky and we open up for this modified side angle pose. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, we'll windmill down the hand. Spinning up on the back toes, reach the left arm up for that dragon twist. Our top hand will come down, dropping down to that back knee. Engage, reaching up for this Anjaneyasana. And as we out breath, that left hand can go back around a little bit. Just really lift up and reach toward the sky. Release, bringing the hands back up. Out breath, taking it down. Come off the back knee, step up to the front for a half lift. Exhale to fold. In breath, the arms rise up. Out breath, hands come back down. And release. Beautiful job. Let's make our way down to the floor. So just bring the arms up to the sky. Out breath to fold. Get there yoga style. Inhaling half lift. As we exhale, take one leg back, the other leg back. Open the knees wide and pushing back into our child's pose. This time relax the arms down. Forehead resting against the floor. Now bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into a seated position on your mat. Extend your legs out in front and just walk the flesh out from underneath. Flexing the feet and put a slight bend into the knees to allow us to be able to get our spine very straight and not overstretch the hamstring. Reach those arms up in the air on the in-breath. As we out-breath, we hinge forward. Let the hands come down to the floor. Now engage in the core and let's reach it back up, adding those dynamic to static movements. Out breath, bend it forward. And we'll do one more. Inhale, engaging the core, reaching up. Exhale, fold it in. And this time we'll hold here and just let the chest and the belly come down to the legs. Hold and breathe, keeping our spine nice and tall. Extending that spine. If you want to hold on to your ankles or your heels, that's perfectly fine. Feeling that stretch through the back and through hamstrings. Release, coming up, tall stance. Beautiful. Bring your left sole of the foot to the floor. Hold on to the shin and interlace the fingers in front. Just sit up very tall here. It's this pose of nobility. Coming into a revolved twist, reaching the right bicep around the front of the shin. The left hand goes back. Bolster yourself, lifting up nice and tall. You can stay here, or you could also bring your elbow to the outside of the knee. Either posture is perfect. So in breath to lift the chest, and out breath, let the gaze go back. Breathe your breath. Don't hold your breath. And release. Coming back, giving that nice little pose of nobility. Now let that knee open to the side, placing the sole of foot on the inner right leg. Nice tall spine. Reach the arms up. In breath. Out breath. Lift and hinge. Just fold over any amount. Try to press that left knee as close to the floor as you can, using the power of your hip. Release, coming back up, extending that leg back out, and we'll do all of that second side. So bringing the right shin in for that pose of nobility, wrapping the left around, right hand goes back, making our choice here, staying in this position or placing the elbow to the outside. Lift up on the in-breath, and out-breath, gaze goes back. Release, coming back, finding ourselves in that nice tall spine. And then open the knee out to the right sole of the foot into the inner left thigh. Reach those arms up in the air on the in-breath, and out-breath, hinge up and over, fingertips down. You know you can always bend that bottom knee. And then trying to isometrically move your right knee to the floor. Hold and breathe. Release, walking those hands back, extending the legs, and give them a little shake bounce. Scoot your hips forward, laying down on your back, aligning the soles of your feet on the floor, trying to get an ankle and knee alignment. Now, we can't see ourselves when we're laying down, right? So a good rule of thumb, I say, is if the fingertips can touch the backs of the heels, that'll be a pretty good position. Feet are hip width apart, and you're driving your feet into the floor, into that Pada Bandha that we'd already talked about. Next, in breath, push into the floor. Push the floor away with your feet and reach your arms overhead for this bridge pose with the arm extension stretch. Hold here for just a couple of breaths, feeling that nice press, really press into the feet, lifting the hips. Now your out breath, you'll start to roll one vertebrae at a time down and bring your arms down at the same time, bringing them by your sides. So now let's move a little dynamic. So we'll in breath, lifting the hips, arms reach overhead, Out breath, drop the hips, bring the hands back down. Again, in breath overhead. Out breath, roll it down. Last time, this time as we lift up on the in breath, leave those arms overhead, and we're going to hold here for a couple of breaths with the arms overhead extended. With different sensation than when our arms are by our sides. Keep the arms where they are now and roll down one vertebrae at a time, feeling a deep expansion and extension of the spine. Now reach the legs long, feet together and flex. This is reclined overhead salute. Reaching those arms away. Now interlace those fingers, flip those palms, stretch and reach everything away. In breath here, out breath, bring the right shin in. Hold on either behind the thigh or in front of the shin to give a good hip squeeze stretch. Release, arms overhead in breath. Out breath, left comes in, give it a squeeze. 2 more times. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bring it in, give it a squeeze. In breath. Out breath. 1 more each side. Inhale. Exhale. In breath. Out breath, left. Now hold that left. Bring the right in. Give them a good squeeze again. Behind the thighs or in front of the shins. And rock a little from side to side. Holding on to the right shin. Extend the left leg long. And use your left hand to guide your knee over toward the left. The right arm can go out to the side. The gaze can be up or toward that right arm. I like to have the knee and the hip in the same alignment. And very often I notice that students can easily put their knee down to the ground, but that can also twist into the back a little bit too much for those with a little bit more back issues. So let's just have the knee and the hip in alignment here and just open up the chest. Supine twist. Release, rolling back. Give that right knee another good squeeze. Let it go down to the floor and then bring the left one in, repeating for the second side. Nice, good squeeze. Right hand guides that left knee over for that supine twist. The left arm can reach out. We just hold here and breathe. Rolling back onto our back. Give that knee a squeeze. Bring the other one another time. Give them a squeeze. And if it feels good, hold on to the ankles, the outside of the feet, and come into a happy baby. You can rock a little from side to side if you'd like. And then come into stillness in your happy baby, moving your knees out past the shoulders and pulling down so we can feel that good stretch for the hip flexors. Release, slide the feet out, coming into a final relaxation space. So your legs and arms are reaching. This being said, many people have back issues and laying on their back can be quite uncomfortable. So if that's you, then please bend the knees and place the soles of the feet on the ground where we're pressing our lower back into the floor. I think I have a little company with me right now. This is my little doggy Daisy. So either bent knees or the legs straight, and finding ourselves in some quiet comfort. Let your eyes close and relax completely into the floor, feeling completely supported by the earth. If you need to do any wiggles or twitches, please feel free to do so. Get those out of your system and then melting back into the floor, relaxing the feet and the ankles. Relax the shins and the calves. Relax the thighs, the knees, the buttocks and hips. Relax the fingers, the palms, the wrists. Relax the forearms, upper arms, shoulders and chest. Relax the belly and the ribs. Relax the jaw. Allow the tongue to pull away from the roof of the mouth and rest lightly behind the front teeth. Relax into the cheeks, the muscles surrounding the cheeks. Relax in the eyes, let them fall back into their sockets. Relax the space between the brows and the forehead. Relax and release everything into the earth. Now bring your attention, awareness back into your breath and start to wiggle fingers and toes a little, just bringing some subtle and gentle movement back into the body. Coming into a nice full body stretch, reaching the arms over, maybe interlacing, feeling and stretching everything away from the body. Bend the knees, place the knees together, feet mat width apart, and just start to windshield wiper out the legs a little, bringing some movement for the spine. Roll over to your right side, make a little pillow with your arms, and take a couple of rounds of breath. Release the hands down to the floor. Use your hands to press yourself up and come into an easy seated position of your choice. Easy crisscross works. Just finding a tall spine, rolling those shoulders back. Let's end with a little bit of breath work. This is Samavritti. It's a box breath. So we'll inhale to a count of 4. We'll hold the breath for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold the breath for 4, and then repeat that a few times. So nice tall spine, close the eyes. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Return to natural breath. Follow your in-breath and out-breath. Notice any shifts or changes that occurred in your physical breath or your mental thought. Bring our hands into prayer position, keeping the eyes closed, a sign of gratitude for your breath and your body, for the practice. A gesture of connection between breath and body. And bowing to one another, together we can say Namaste.